Welcome, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. Session 81. Where we had left off last time, the Lucky Sevens, the 4 remaining members of the party, had made their way to the sort of realm of that blackened sky with the spire of a tower in the distance. The aim to rescue their comrades, Kurobe and Arya, who had been taken by Mercury, a fiend. Upon arriving, the Lucky Sevens had avoided some of the shrieking monsters, the deathly screams, and the sense of dread that they have been feeling throughout this entire journey through this place. They found the tower is surrounded by an abandoned city. Walls crumbled, abandoned. The only residents of this city being the monsters that have dwelled in this place for many, many thousands of years, one might think. Drawing closer to the innermost gates, they came across a sentient lock, asking them what they bring for tribute to he whose name is whispered. After some deliberation and some spell preparations by Alira, she spent some time casting a spell. A spell she hoped would bring about some positive in this place. But I don't think she was quite ready for what was resurrected, as the creature that arose from the spirit of this lock was a giant. Tall, grayish skin, human-like in almost every way except for size and maybe skin tone. Skin tone closer to that of Lagon. A long white beard, long flowing hair, but nothing else on its person. Called itself Stormbringer. And when slightly provoked, a bit of an electric charge could be seen floating around this creature's hands, speaking in the tongue of giants only. And so, with the gate now unlocked, the lock now empty of the spirit that it held, crumbling to ash at your feet, Lucky Sevens, what do you do?
What?
Go on.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You start first.
Speaking in Jotun, giant. What is that little display of electricity around you, sir?
It is magic. And you notice that the dialect in which he's using Jotun is older, but also still understandable. If it wasn't for the fact that you are well versed in also some of the older dialects to be able to translate for your own self, you probably... It's like speaking with someone who speaks in a Shakespearean sort of parlance,
I
where
got you.
yours is very much a modern parlance. That's how it feels, listening to his speech.
Do you perhaps know more about the interior of where you have been gatekeeping? Perhaps have overheard something from those that you allow to enter? I don't expect you to have seen it since you were a gate.
My memory of the time is fading. I do not recall.
Would you put a... Oh.
Go ahead.
No. You continue. I didn't realize.
The last thing that I recall is from a battle. I was felled. And now I am here.
You wouldn't have happened to have remembered any kind of shiny dragon-like thing. Or perhaps the name Mercury.
Mercury. That is a name that I have... That is a being I have hunted for many, many, many years. And of course, dragons are the enemy. They are the ones who created beings like Mercury.
And it is said that...
tend to put an end to them.
And it is said that you and your kind created me and mine.
You are small.
Smaller than you, but holding his hands out in almost a T-pose and kind of turning to his companions. Larger than them.
Still a tiny creature in a vast, vast world.
Well, we have some business to attend to with Mercury moving forward. Is there any help you can provide us?
Everything that you possess is far too small for a being such as myself. I could potentially aid you in your quest versus Mercury. However, my power is greatly diminished.
I understand. Should we survive the threat moving forward, if you're still around? I'd like to have a further conversation with you, but I don't... If your powers are fading, I don't know how long you'll last, and I My companions and I have some pressing business with Mercury that we need taken care of sooner rather than later.
I do not like this place.
I don't
think
think any
that
of
was
us
the point.
rightfully do.
And you hear the shrieking of the sort of shadow monsters that you've seen throughout this place going off again. And I suspect that this place is not safe.
No.
No, it is not.
It is far from safe and has been used as a conduit for travel from many places by a group of cultists attempting to bring things back that they shouldn't.
Then I suppose I have very little choice in the matter.
You always have a choice.
Well met, Stonebringer. Perhaps introductions should have been made, but I too am a Stonebringer.
You also bear that name.
Yes, I do.
And from whom did you gather this name?
My mother. And Zuviwal and the Raven Queen recognize me as such as well.
Indeed. Perhaps we should carry on.
Carry on indeed.
And he gets up from his seat that he had taken, that he had been laid out in when the ritual was going from Alira, and he stands somewhere close to 40 feet tall. He towers way over all of the buildings in this place, and save for the tower that still is beyond the inner walls of the city. Lead the way.
Oh, so you will join us. Truly appreciated.
It is either follow you or die, and I do not intend to die this day.
I would continue walking towards the tower then. Was there something you wanted to say, Raven?
Nah, I was just gonna say that we'd be probably heading toward the tower, pushing forward a little bit more.
Alright. And so the four of you, the Vanya, Dagon, Alira, and Kaz, with your new giant friend in tow, and Zephyr, you start making your way towards the tower once more, going through the gates and into the innermost city as it looks. You see as you continue to walk these streets that you see apparitions now of souls, wandering people about the size of yourselves, and some a little smaller, some a little larger, kind of in a transparent form, but they're simply wailing, as if dragging chains, as if in pain, as if this is what their eternity has become. You see monsters from that are black smoke flying with wings like dragons. Snakes almost dive in and scoop up one of these souls to devour them, only for that soul to reappear in front of you. A continuous cycle. You also start to see glimmers of light amongst the city. Firelight, almost. Where maybe there's torches or interior lights in some of these city buildings. Few and far between.
So there's nothing being verbalized, it's just the moans, wails, and screams of
So
the
far.
beings. Okay. Great.
The tower is only a few hundred feet ahead of you. The base of it is a sprawling wall, almost, surrounded, packed tightly with other buildings nearby. Those buildings crumbling in a similar fashion to the ones outside the wall, but maybe less so in this case. More complete, more akin to abandoned rather than destroyed. You see taverns, you see inns, you see shops, you see houses, you see places of business and commerce, you see a city in front of you. But all of it gray, all of it feeling dead, like the air itself is not alive. You start to see some bodies start to shamble out of these buildings. Corporeal but zombies. Shambling like the souls, except their bodies at this time.
So, bright ideas, anyone?
Shambling hordes. We're going to stand out like a giant sore thumbs. Given our new companion. I don't know how we'll get him into our into the tower with us, but I think I think we need to move forward and try to see if we can bring him in with us.
Lagon, make a perception check.
Perception. I should be pretty good at this. Oh boy, yeah. Without modifiers, natural 20
Wow!
plus 29.
Holy shit. First roll of the day, and it's a natural 20. My goodness.
My dice don't even want to come out to play anymore.
Sorry. I thought it was going to be an 8, and then it rolled back the other way, and it's a 20.
So,
They saw the nat 20. It's like, I don't want any of this. We're good in here.
I don't want to come out to play no more.
No.
well, given that you have the hawkiest of eyes in this moment here, Lagon, you look towards the sort of the sort of large gate that leads into this tower. It leads into this tower kind of like your typical castle that you would normally see, or mansion of some kind that you would see in one of the capital cities of Ionia. That there is a very large gate and wall that leads into the entry of this tower, into the tower proper, because you do see that it kind of just goes into the building, but the tower itself spreads at the base some several hundred feet across in a kind of a circular sort of a style, going all the way upward, kind of narrowing at the top.
Okay.
And from what you gather, is this tower is designed with larger creatures in mind. So potentially each floor of the tower is enough to accommodate those of higher stature, even 40 feet tall.
Okay.
This tower was built during the time of giants.
It was. Giants and dragons alike. And when you have monstrous creatures coming to visit, you need to make accommodations. And so, looking at the exterior of this tower as well, the only entryway into the tower is through iron bar gates. They look like iron, like metal bar gates, also chained together with a lock.
Does the lock appear to be magical or trapped in any way?
It's too far to know, even with a natural 20.
I just thought I would try.
The way that I see it is you are still hundreds of feet away from the gate, and this is what you see on the exterior of the tower before getting any closer. You've kind of found yourself a little a place to hide from the monsters for the moment.
Okay.
And the buildings that you're in right now are also very large in size. You even see what looks like furniture that would accommodate your new friend Stormbringer, like chairs and tables and plates and things abandoned.
So it's not just the tower, but other things in the city are of accommodating enough of a size for him as well. Okay.
Especially in this inner city part. The outer city was more along those lines of your size.
Okay.
But that's all mostly destroyed. You do still see those beasts and creatures. You even see other creatures with wings, legs, and arms, not just the shadowy sort of snake wyverns almost. You see fiends also diving in and collecting up some of these rotting corpses and chomping down on them and start to devour the flesh because they need to eat. So but there is a lot of that here.
I'm wondering if the stairs are comparable as well, or if there might be more than one set.
Only way to know is to go inside.
We won't know until we get in. I think, and he switches back from common to Jotun and looks up. I think you're fairly well proportioned to be able to fit inside as well as us. It seems to have been made at the time your time was your well, when your life was at its height.
Certainly seems as such.
And continue walking towards the tower, trying to avoid the shambling hordes and what appear to be wraiths
Okay.
and
I believe
ghosts.
this is where Vanya comes in to help.
Yes, I believe Raven stepped away for a second, but with
Well, you know what? I believe I have access to the same spell. Let me double check.
Pass Without Trace.
Pass Without Trace is a 3rd level, if I recall. Yes, I do.
Okay. If
So
you would like to take care
I
of
will.
that, you
I will
may.
take that one.
Okay. Then I need stealth checks from everyone, and I'll go ahead and roll for Raven.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Kaz got a 12 plus things, and he's very dexterous, so I imagine he's very tall, very much high number right there, especially since that's be a 22 without his modifier.
I have a 26. I actually rolled above a 10 for once.
Ooh, hey, let's go.
It's a great night.
Let's
Congratulations!
go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then
This is more rare than a natural 20 for me at this point.
and then Vanya's is a 14 plus 10. That's 24 plus her modifier. So y'all are fairly confident.
I've got a 23.
Yeah, you all are fairly confident.
And I'm rolling disadvantage.
Well, your giant friend isn't so dexterous.
No,
But-
he's a giant. 40
Yeah.
fucking feet tall.
It kind of sticks out. But since this is a group check, I am going to. He is not going to stick out enough to cause you all to be seen. So you start to again work your way more towards the inside of the interior of the city, where this tower's base is. And when you get to the base, you see you get close enough to find that it is being guarded by some of these monstrosities of a fiendish and sort of a blackish smoke sort of nature. You see that a couple of the fiends are just kind of look like they're playing a game of some sort. They're not nearly as tall as your giant friend, but they're pretty massive. One seems to be very angry at the other one for calling, and in some sort of fiendish language, looks like he is swearing the one up and down based on his body language. But you don't. You're still a little too far to overhear the conversation. But that is what you see. You see that they have. There's a couple of them, these fiends there, and some of these shadowy, sort of flying monsters.
Hmm. Is there a building large enough for a Stormbringer to be able to hide behind
Yeah, plenty.
that
At
we
this
can potentially use to try and get a little closer to see if we can hear the conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you get close enough to the conversation. It looks like they're playing some kind of strategy game of some kind. And one of them is... do you understand Abyssal? Alira has the helm of comprehend languages. And Alira, you would probably be the only one to understand that the one on the left is calling the one on the right a filthy cheater. That he was performing a move that is illegal in competitive play of this game. Demanding that he wants his souls back.
Okay, I feel like I missed something. Sorry, but once the soul's back, Stormbringer stating this?
No, this is the fiends.
The two fiends that were playing the game with the
Yeah.
raids.
Okay. All right. No, I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
There's
Really,
two
I'm like,
fiends in front of the gate. They're playing a strategy game. They must have wagered some souls versus each other, and one is calling the other out and being a filthy cheater and using a move that's illegal in competitive play.
fascinating. Do we need to get involved in this? Is there a reason to get? I'm legitimately trying to end up thinking like, there's a part of me like that really wants to screw with this. On the other hand, we got going in.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had to take my headset off for a moment. What have I missed?
Apparently, as we're sneaking through the city to get to the tower,
Mm-hmm.
the city that was once occupied by or built,
And that would be my net
giants.
acting up?
Oh no, her internet's acting up.
Oh no.
We'll give her a second.
I'm moving over to a hotspot for
Okay.
a moment. Gee, I had to deal something offline, and now I've got to deal with net being bitchy. I can't win.
Nope.
Okay, should be good.
All right. So, in front of the gate, which is the sole entryway that you see to get into the tower, the gate is being guarded by several of these shadow creatures and a pair of very tall fiends that seem to be playing a strategy game of sorts. And
Okay.
one is calling the other a cheater.
You want to just sneak by them?
Oh, you're muted, Mojo.
You're muted.
How do you suggest that we do that when our friend here would have nowhere to hide?
It's us. I'm pretty sure we can swing it.
Why is it everybody needs to make this more complicated? Now, Alira is going to look at the big man. Then look to hear our own Stormbringer, because now we got two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking in that old-timey broken Elvish that she ends up speaking in. I need you to tell him to just think tiny thoughts.
Okay. Translating that into Jotun for Stonebringer,
I know think isn't in the vocabulary, but try.
my little dark friend here tells me you should try and think small thoughts. Think tiny.
Very well.
As soon as he ends up responding at all, polymorph.
Okay. What are you polymorphing him into?
A cricket.
Okay. A cricket do, as cricket would, and attempts to hop away from you all.
No. Come here. She picks him up, places on the shoulder.
All you have is this cricket chirping now in your ear.
Yep.
Okay, and with that, Pass Without Trace will be cast.
Already is.
Oh
no, it needs to be recast because all right.
Concentration.
Yeah.
You're concentrating on polymorph, so Vanya is taking over Pass Without Trace. So we will need to do stealth checks once again.
Alright.
So for Kaz,
21.
14 plus 10, that's 24 plus things.
21, I'll take it.
Hey, Lamau.
Hey, I'm getting average dice rolls for once. Yes.
Hey, there you go.
But yes, there we go. I don't understand why everybody was complaining. So I imagine at this point, I'm going to be hearing a lot of little complaining at this point, right near my ear. A little. Problem is, if I swat him, I'm the one who gets crushed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes. Do.
So.
Have fun with that one.
22 total this time.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to do Zephyr. Crap.
Yep.
Let me see. Okay. Why do I even bother?
Natural 20.
Nat 20. I have checked his eyes, by the way.
He did
They're
good
fine.
dog. He did good dog.
He's just a good puppy.
So, now with your companion now shrunk down to the size of a cricket, and yourselves now recloaked in the cloaks of Pass Without Trace, these two fiends are standing and kind of sitting in front of the gate in question. How do you plan to get around them to get to the gate and into the gate?
I thought the gate was chained and locked.
It is chained and locked, but they're sitting in front of it. Unless you can think of another way in.
Is there another way in? That's a
This gate is attached to a wall or
Yes.
fence,
It's
right?
attached to a wall. Yep.
Okay.
Very large wall.
Instead of trying to go through the front, can we go around?
Hold on. I think I got something for this. I think I actually have something for this.
In both directions is hundreds of feet. Where you see where along that side of the wall, along the whole front face, this is the only entrance.
I was thinking scale the walls.
Scale the walls. Oh, okay. The walls would be scalable.
If?
But there is no.
About how thick is this wall?
There's no way to know from the exterior. It looks like it's made of massive bricks, but there's no way to know exactly how thick. Because it is enclosed. It is not a it's not a wall per se. It's like an enclosed base of the tower.
Oh, well.
So theoretically, on the other side of the wall is the interior of the building.
Well, very well then. I gesture for everybody to walk over with me as we circumvent, maybe go a little ways down just outside, following the same wall. Currently, at this point, I will pull out a small bit of clay out of my pouch, currently mold it into my hand before punching a hole through it with my thumb, place it on the wall, and the wall is now going to be a 5 foot by 5 foot by 5 foot hole directly forward. Stone shape.
Okay, that allows you to work to shape worked stone.
You can touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension. So, to suit my purposes. So while I can't change the whole wall, I can change a section of it.
Okay. So, does that include worked stone, like bricks?
I don't see any restriction on it, but you touch a stone object that includes wall, because
Okay.
it is a stone object. So for the purposes, you can also shape a stone door or its frame. The object you create can have up to 2 hinges and a latch, but finer mechanical detail is impossible.
Okay.
You know what?
Mm.
I'm going to change that up a little bit.
Okay.
I am going to end up making a door that is an exact creation of it, except it swings inward. It is literally just a stone door.
Okay.
That looks like the rest of the wall if we were to keep it closed.
Okay. Okay. That's it.
Just so no one falls in it and no one walks by.
Yeah. Let's see. Yep, no more than 5 feet in any dimension. Okay. As long as the wall is less than 5 feet thick, you can, or make a small passage through a wall as long as the wall is less than 5 feet thick. You can also shape a stone door. Okay. So, so you find a place where you're out of sight. You're keeping clear. The flying creatures are still flying overhead, but they don't seem to see you. You find a place on the wall where you're not sure how deep it goes, but you're fairly certain that a construct like this might have a very thick stone base, at the very least. So you carve out a section of the wall itself to be a door once you all have gotten into this 5 foot by 5 foot space. Now, it is cramped in here when you all do go in. There's still some wall left, though, because this is the base of a very, very large tower. So the walls might be a little thicker, but you'd think that if you had one more spell, you could get all the way through.
I'll attempt to do the same thing.
Okay. You're going
Pulling
to
out.
stay in shape? Okay.
Yeah. Pull out a small bit of soft clay and wrap it around my thumb, as I had seen Alira do with hers.
Mm-hmm.
And touch the wall in front of us to continue moving this stone shape through. Because
Okay.
it is very cramped, and I am crouching, curled in on myself.
It's true. It's true. So you create this second sort of cut into into the wall, pushing yourselves forward, and the room in which you find yourself is a very, very large entryway. There are support pillars throughout the entirety of the floor. They go some 50 feet up just on this first floor alone. And essentially what you find is in the center of this entryway is a set of stairs that go up to a door. This door looks like it is in a wall that takes half of the building, half of this floor of the building, and walls it off. It's like this door is up on, like, almost like a dais in a way. And again, it's the blackened stone. It is the you have stone tile beneath you, but they're polished to a shine. It is there are, carpets leading up to things. There are candles lit everywhere. There are in the center of this dais is a brazier, a sort of blackish metal sort of dish, just kind of very large one, very kind of sat at the bottom of what looks like an altar. And this altar is covered in old and new blood.
Oh.
And throughout this whole floor, you are seeing cultists, people chanting, people of all sorts of types. There's giantkin, there's dragonkin, there's elves, there's gnomes, there's everyone, tieflings, everything, fiends, even, and there is a sort of prayer chant going on. There is one of these beings bringing up a person who has been stripped of all of their belongings, left in just a ceremonial tabard with a sort of mask over their face, being led up to this altar.
How many of these cultists are surrounding the altar?
20, 30.
Hmm.
And you're not sure if they heard you.
No. Uh, hmm.
You're far enough away that in the dim light they may not have seen you, but you're not sure if the tearing of the rock out has caused them to to hear anything, especially with all the chanting going on.
I know something that would get their attention and possibly harm everyone and disrupt the ritual that seems to be in place, but I don't want to harm the person that they're looks to be bringing for sacrifice. I don't know if they would be in range of that 20-foot sphere. And as much as I'd like to save this person, not knowing those details, does there appear to be any other way out of the room where we might continue further up, or does it look like we have to go through these guys?
So far as it looks, aside from maybe you see a stairway that does lead down further on the side of the room, but as far as going upwards
Only the
is the
staircase.
door on the wall in front of you. Yeah.
Okay. Scheisse.
We can't just leave them here.
You say that out loud?
Yep.
Fine. Plan A, then. I'm going to do my best to cast the center of this so that it does not hit the individual they're trying to bring to the altar. That appears like they're trying to sacrifice this person. And I'm going to cast a 5th level shatter.
5th level shatter. Okay. So I'm gonna roll a single
With Constitution.
a single Constitution save for all of them because there's 30 or some odd people here, just to make it simple on myself.
I'm trying to catch as many of them in that sphere as possible, as well as the altar.
Yeah, the altar kind of has like a couple of people who seem to be kind of officiating the whole thing in front of it. The rest of these cultists seem to be kind of in a kneeling and bowing sort of all kind of clumped together sort of a deal, as the victim is being walked up by one person. And so you can probably catch like 4 or 5 of these cultists in that 20-foot sphere then,
Okay.
to get the, as well as the altar. You said you want to get the altar in that, right?
Yes, because that seems to be like a focus of some kind for this. To me, I want to destroy the altar, possibly disrupting any of the magics that are associated with it, and as many of the cultists as I can wrap in that sphere.
Okay. So Constitution save for them. That's cacked. Well, that's an 8.
That is not going to do it. Oh, damn. That is 5d8. 68 at level 5. One more d8. 32 plus 14 is 56
How much?
points of thunder damage. 6d8. 4 8s, 2 7s. So 32 plus 14.
32 plus 14. Okay.
46.
Hot damn.
I think I said 56 first. I apologize. My math's a little off.
So, what does this look like when you cast this spell? Like, what is the sort of motion or prayer that you let out?
So there's a much like my Toll the Dead, where they're standing, there's that loud, dolorous ringing, painfully intense, erupting from the point where it's centered, and spreads out in a 10-foot radius all the way around, so making it a 20-foot sphere.
Okay.
Inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on saving throws. Magical objects and people are all taking 46 damage of thunder.
Okay. So this funeral toll goes out and shakes the ground beneath it. And the stone and the metal of the floor and the dais and the altar and the metal of the brazier all just kind of shake violently beneath everyone, as well as a loud thunderous sound can be heard in the ears of the individuals that are caught in this space. And when that ringing goes, instantly the cultists that have been caught in this sphere just collapse. The altar crumbles, the blood spills, the fresh blood in it still spills everywhere. The floor is now covered in cracks and ruined tile, and the brazier is just kind of flopped onto the ground and kind of wrung out in a metal kind of in a spin, and you hear 25 gasps as you called out. They hear that you have cast this spell and are now alerted to your presence.
Do we still get a surprise action for the rest of us? Since...
Indeed.
Please.
What would you like to do?
All right. Now this is just a general gathering of cultists. We don't see like any particular leader or what have you.
Not at the moment.
Okay. There's a large group of them that way, right?
Yeah, just
About-
kind of clumped up together. They've all kind of noticed y'all now.
Okay. I'm throwing is a dex attack, right?
If you're like a throwing knife,
Yeah, something like that.
if it's a finesse weapon, yes.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's strength.
I'd like to use a thing of bardic inspiration for this,
Okay.
because I know exactly what he's
be
trying to do.
praised.
What'd you do?
It's a nat 20.
Woo!
Yes!
So,
Bullshit has been rewarded.
grabbing hold, throwing overhand pitched, almost like a NBA player, throws as hard as she can. Whizzing goes by through the collective until in the middle it strikes the forehead of right in the center of this collective. One of them here, right under the hood, gets pelted right in the forehead with a cricket.
Okay. Is that when you let go of polymorph?
Well, I'm pretty sure the 1 point of damage undoes the polymorph.
Either way,
Yeah.
the polymorph is undone.
But, there's that sudden mass times velocity, and the mass just expanded very freaking rapidly.
Okay. Let's see how our giant friend does in kind of catching himself and rolling. Well, does pretty well, but does also when you do this, kind of roll into it and kind of tumble forward into the cultist, almost like bowling pins, kind of rolling
Yes.
across the room.
Yes, I just threw a giant.
Well,
Why does this hurt so much? He just threw a cricket at my face.
That's not a cricket. That's not a cricket.
that's a thousands of pounds, probably crushed these individuals sort of a giant.
Poppy, I will gladly accept your ruling on this, but I will take the nat 20. Okay, the rest of my rolls could go terribly for the rest of the night. I'm good.
In this, probably 10 of them have either had themselves squashed to a point where they will not be surviving the event, or are severely injured as a result. So that's 10 of them incapacitated just from that.
And I immediately turn to Lagan. I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast giant.
So what is Vanya gonna do in the midst of this?
Let's see here. You know what? We'll do another shatter
Okay.
on top of it all
Okay.
at level 2.
Okay. Now, with all of this, the sort of haphazard tossing of a giant, and to include the rest of the cultists in your shatter, there is the possibility the victim will be in amongst the dead.
Never mind then. Oh wait, well the giant's already been thrown, so
The giant's already been thrown.
We'll stick with the shatter.
Okay.
10-foot sphere. Con save to anyone who was in there.
Okay, that's a 3. No one saves.
Alright, that's gonna be 3d8 thunder damage. It's like.
That's a 10-foot radius sphere.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
20 foot across. Yeah.
19 points of damage.
Okay. High or low?
Let's go low.
Is that agreed amongst everyone?
I concur. Derek?
I am not arguing with this decision. I am letting it rest solely on its own laurels.
Upon all of these individuals collapsing, there is only one that remains, well, knelt, but standing, question mark, alive,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the one in the mask. And the unholy tabard.
Anybody else want to get up close and personal with this thing?
I mean, do we really have a choice?
Oh, there are always choices, as Alera likes to tell everyone.
Well, I suppose in this case we could.
I think it's best we would remove the last standing member of this ritual.
The last standing is your victim.
Ah, okay.
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought this was the person directing the ritual. I apologize.
No, this is your victim. This is the victim.
Then, being the medical professional that I am going to rush over and quickly perform a medicine check on this person. To see if I have to do anything special to help take this unholy tabard thing off.
You start to go ahead and roll the check.
So plus 13, 26.
You look at you look at them. They're kind of like knelt over with their hands behind their backs, this tabard sort of draped over them, and the mask kind of covering their features. You see that this is a tiefling woman. She's kind of fair of skin. She's maybe kind of an older teen, maybe 18, 19 years old, and has long black hair kind of draped in front of her too. You start to look her over to see, to check her vitals. Technically, she's alive, but when she looks at you, you see that her sort of golden eyes are now blackened, staring back at you. Well, you didn't. Well, that was unexpected. You hear a sort of double voice coming out of her mouth.
Yes, Mercury. I'm sure that was unexpected.
Oh, so you suppose that this is Mercury. Okay. Well, I hate to disappoint. But you have it all wrong, Stormbringer.
Which one? I just don't want there to be any confusion.
Yes.
The big one or the bigger one?
A little mouthy on you, elf. Drow, I think. It's been a long time since I've been on your plane. Many, many millennia. Lagon, you're getting the distinct feeling that this woman is possessed.
Thankfully, I prepared for this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to cast Greater Restoration in the attempt to...
Go for it. You spend the spell, and nothing happens. She continues to look at you with those blackened eyes and kind of stands up. No, that really won't be necessary. She will be gone by the time that we're done having this conversation. She was mine, after all. And, well, I expected these souls to be a little bit more prepared for their journey into my arms, but, well, we shall have to deal with that in the short term. You must be the Lucky Sevens.
What was the first clue?
The fact that that's sort of plastered all over your minds, except that there aren't 7 of you. In fact, Mercury's taken 2 of them.
Yeah, and we'll be taking them back.
Yes.
You should have taken her up on her offer when she offered to allow you to leave.
Says you.
You will die here. And you will be mine.
No. I already belong to someone else. And you look nothing like her.
It's too bad she's so far away.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we seem to have already alerted that we are present. Perhaps we should just continue to push forward.
You're more than welcome to. In fact, I encourage it. Slay as many of my minions as you see fit. It will not matter.
Yeah. Oh.
And oh, never mind. I realized that we're past that time. Never mind. Sorry, had an idea.
Good
Share
luck.
with the class.
Good luck getting through the front door, as it were, without a sacrifice. You were clever at the pyramid.
Without a sacrifice. Why don't we just use you?
And after a bit of a laugh, the woman crumples in your arm, dead.
God damn it.
I'm so looking forward to the day we finally get rid of him.
No, we cannot, use her as sacrifice to get in. Oh. I don't think he's going to like it. Given the clue that, of what we used to get through the ziggurat in the desert, I believe we might have a way without actually sacrificing anyone.
Do you think we'd be able to pull that off a second time?
Not without the help of our friend Stormbringer. But he has to do so willingly. I will not take from him.
Well, forward we have to go either way.
Right.
And I'm sorry for being so reckless and encountering the cultists.
I
What a
am not.
waste.
It was a waste, and I am not sorry for your actions. Every one of them that we removed from this. Well, it's actually why we're here. I was told to follow the cultists, and that is what we're doing. And every step we've taken, we've removed at least one, if not more. And I appreciate your help with all of this. They pervert the natural way of things, and everyone removed. We're that much closer to what I don't know. I hope we'll find out soon. Go check on my giant friend and make sure he's not seriously injured from the whole, oh, I was a cricket and now I'm not and rolling over everything.
He's not seriously injured.
I guess we're going up.
Yep.
Is there anything that we can loot from the bodies? While we're
Muted.
here?
Coffee. We can't hear you, hon.
Your audio went out again.